Good morning, Reed here, back at Orchestra Farm. I'm just moving the pieces of this greenhouse. It used to be over yonder beyond the patch greenhouse that's not covered right there. You can see the canary reed grass that's laying on the ground and maybe a celery patch, pretty green over there. It's gonna go right in back of me in this very tall grass area. I'd walked through it this morning, but the reality is I get totally sopping wet because there's still dew on the ground. Got the stick back up here. A bit of a little walk and talk around the farm today. These walnuts that are still in pots are doing all right here. At least those three are. So they're 1, 2 there are starting to leaf out. Look at that rhubarb patch. Love it. That's about 3 years in this location. Doing a lot better. The elderberry there is not yet leafing out. I'm not going to go check on the beaver dam today, or at least at this time, until it's dried up a bit. And we'll see if I can get to that this evening. I've got a bunch of other stuff that has to happen here. Let's see. Oh yeah, way down here. I don't know if you can see this, but that's little hickory. They grow real slow, but it is growing, which is nice. And let's see, over here, oh yep, covered up by the greenhouse plastic again. I'm gonna have to really weight this down. Is a pawpaw. Super stoked on that guy. The raspberry patch is coming to life and starting to flower out. And the this is autumn olive here is looking pretty good. This is the golden raspberry here, which I'm super stoked on. And this raspberry patch that we extended is starting to fruit out, which is looking great. There was a little fig in this area. Not sure if it made it. As you can see, I gotta get in. Oh, here it is. Oh, it actually looks like it's gonna bud out a bit here. Again, we're in a bit of a frost pocket, and look at this gorgeous apple. Yay. Pulled some of the what do we call those things? Moths, tent caterpillars off of it. This is a great pecan, to which I'm really stoked on the pecan because it's growing at a faster rate. Next to the jostaberry here, the white gooseberry. Boom, this is the jostaberry over here. It's gotten enormous. I mean, it came in pretty big and it's got to be almost 6 feet across right now, which is pretty exciting. The currants are taking hold. You can see the mugwort, not mugwort, motherwort back there with the rhubarb. There's a bunch of other motherwort that's happening right here and here. It does like to move itself around. We got another apple that's blossoming out, which is pretty great. I'm letting this kale patch go to seed, spread itself around a bit. The kiwis are doing amazing. I got to get a male kiwi so it can actually cross-pollinate. Let's look in here. Do I see any peas coming up? My wife planted some the other day. I don't actually know where that happened. Maybe in this row over here. I got to come in here. I'm actually going to tarp this whole thing off. Part of my strategy. Look at these potatoes. They're just like popping up everywhere. You plant them once and they come back. We need ducks here more because look at those slugs. Is it a slug problem or a duck problem? Or duck deficiency? Onions that are just coming back. That's pretty nice to see. And you can see that wild plum over there. I cut it to the ground, I thought, to retransplant it, and it just sprung up from the tiniest bit of rootstock. But I'm going to do a lot of saying plastic mulch this year. Oh, look at that. The pot of basil is still looking happy and alive. I'm going to see about bringing some water over to that today, because it's just too much to get here to weed. Again, I don't live here, and so I'm not walking past things on my daily basis. I want to just go and check on the hazelnut line is looking great. The comfrey in the background is looking awesome. If you need comfrey and you're in Canada, let me know. Likewise, if you need some chocolate mint, you can see it growing just under the hazelnut there. I got a good amount of that. Send some of that out to you. And that was interesting, like, oh, look at those beautiful purple. Goes in for my wife some years ago. It's a nice little another apple, hidden hazelnut there. So this pecan is in a slightly shadier spot. The other one's getting a little bit more sun, and it shows it hasn't really, maybe it's just doing 2 years of rooting in because it got planted in last year, if my recollection serves. And the current line just keeps on going. Another hazelnut there. So this area is going to be a potato and squash patch. And I got to get in here and till it up a bit. You can see there's already potatoes here, and a garlic and another garlic over here. They're just kind of hung along. There's more potatoes back here and there, because this was a nice little potato patch last year, and they just like to come back, which is pretty great. So in here, over here we have a chestnut. That's an interesting hole. Right here, it's looking good, like it's starting to take off. This is a currant, or is it a josta? I think that might be a josta. We got an autumn olive hiding down there. We got this chestnut, which is a lot lower in its stature. And where is it? Here it is. We got a sea buckthorn right down here, which is managing with the roses that are all over it. Those are some Nootka roses for anyone interested in that. And then back in this mangle of blackberry and rose, there's actually another comfrey plant in there, because I wanted to see how it could deal with the just thicker arrangement. There was another chestnut over here, but it did not make it. I'm not exactly sure why, but that happens sometimes. So we got the baby swing up on the swing set. Here's the tiller I'm going to put on the back of the tractor. I want to do a bunch of cleanup of all this wood material and do a fire, but I think I'm outside the fire season, so maybe that's Autumnal Matter. Right, let's come down our row over here. Comfrey. Again, if you need it, let me know. I'm going to put this little table here, but I think it's actually on top of a valerian, so we'll just slide that over a bit. Because there was a couple of valerians that, here it is, right there, some valerian that just chose to come up in this zone. Whereas we have our actual patch just right here. Solomon seal, which I'm loving, and a bunch of other herbaceous plants growing up in there. Elecampane, big patch there. It spreads if you do it. And then this is the area that's going to get cleaned up next. Here's a little poplar I put in the ground. I'll probably transplant that at some point. A bunch of currants. There's a rose that's there. Again, more comfrey popping up all over the place. And this is a golden raspberry. Very happy. And we'll see how the apples do. Like, this one looks like it didn't really make it. This one over here, the little guy, looks like it might be making it. This one didn't make it. Again, oh yeah, look at these 10 caterpillars here. Oh, we're gonna have to just take care of those guys right now. See, I'm gonna glove up for this, because I just don't want them to destroy the farm. And this is a Granny Smith apple here. Pretty stoked on that. More Josta berries, so I should probably check on those guys. It's hard to do one hand holding a camera and the other hand puts on a glove. That's exciting. Anyway, just crumple them right up. The sun is such I can't really tell what's going on the camera right now. Crumple them up, because they will just destroy some things. Little guys. So, and then, you know, they might fly in at another time of year once they've mothed up. But that'll just be what that is. Oh yeah, there's a little ugg sack there. I don't know if you can see that, but a little squishing out. So that's exciting. And then let's see, more Josta berries. Whereas this one is just, I'm not sure what happened to it, but it's taking its sweet time budding out. So here's the old greenhouse spot that can now get planted up because there's no more things. There's some deep holes, so if you're coming by here, there's 9 pretty deep holes. You're gonna kind of lose your leg in it. So be mindful of that, people. Raspberries, the autumn olive, which is banging. The mulberry is starting to leaf out. Here's a raspberry patch that I put in the late winter. Sea buckthorn, another apple. Oh, I see some more caterpillar action on that. Another sea buckthorn. And then that's our to-be potato patch and a strawberry greenhouse with some rhubarbs going in it. I also put in a row of peas in here. I'm not really seeing anybody coming up yet, but I wasn't expecting that either. It's been too few days for that to happen. But those caterpillars, I gotta get them off. And then in the back where you can kind of see the cut grass back there, I'll be going in and weed whacking that down before ripping it up and doing some plowing to put in a big squash patch. Again, now you can see all the tarp over there. I'll be tarping that all up. This area won't be tarped over here. This will be more of like a personal garden type spot for my family and friends. And that's what's happening at the farm today. Let's see. Thanks for checking in. We'll talk about other things on another day. Lots going on. It's a full season happening right now. Oh, I gotta fix the thing over there. But I want to get as much done as possible before my brother arrives at the end of June, so I can spend some quality time with him and my niece and nephew. Hey, Chase and Camille. And I hope you all have time this summer to spend time with the ones that you love when you all get together and can really focus and be present. Just like when I'm here, I love being able to focus and be present with this place. Remember, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking in, subscribing, and all that, and have too much fun.